Test 1, 2. Spectator behavior should represent respect for the opponent, spectators, coaches, and game officials, as well as your opponent's residents. Be loud, be proud, and respect all. Brophy extends a special welcome to all players, parents, fans, and staff of Pinnacle High School. During today's game, we look forward to the players of both teams engaging in healthy competition while pursuing victory with honor. We ask all fans and spectators to abide by the same spirit of sportsmanship and goodwill. In the spirit of the accountability, we get our team to get all things here in together in prayer. We invite you all to stand with hats and allow.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Arizona Lacrosse League High School State Playoffs. We are in the semifinal round as the Brophy Broncos look to make an appearance in the state championship game for the 7th time in 8 seasons. Standing in their way is the Pinnacle Pioneers. Pinnacle with an 8-6 win over Notre Dame Prep in the quarterfinals on Friday night has advanced here to the Brophy Sports Complex to take on the #1 Broncos. These two teams met in the state championship a year ago, and here they meet with a chance to return to the state championship. These two teams did play earlier in the season, with Brophy coming out on top 18-6. But tonight, the teams square off with a lot more at stake. The Broncos have had a high-powered offense and had a perfect 10-0 regular season in A.L.L play, but standing in their way, and standing literally in their way, and could be the difference maker tonight, is goaltender Jack Krukshek. He's been on a tear recently with a 60% save percentage, had 18 saves at Notre Dame Prep on Friday night, and 15 saves when these two teams played in the regular season. Watch out for him. He has been on fire, and he will look to keep the Broncos out of the cage. Joining me once again tonight is Nate LaCrosse, as we are here from the Brophy Sports Complex. Nate, when these two teams met last year in the state championship, what do you expect the intensity level to be on the field?
Well, it's playoff lacrosse here in Arizona, and it's a beautiful night, about 80 degrees. And wow, are we blessed to be here with a great day, great evening, playoff lacrosse. And I tell you what, I think Pinnacle's coming in with a lot of hope. They had a tremendous game against Notre Dame in the quarterfinals. They were the underdogs, and they came out and they won. So they're coming into this game with a lot of hope. Last year, obviously, they got to the state championship game and played against Brophy. Brophy won, but it'll be a fun game tonight.
Opening faceoff here, Jack Grissoni for the Broncos wins the opening faceoff, and Brophy will have first possession. Grissoni was a second-team All-State honoree when the votes came out here this week.
Looks like we have a ball on the field, so no penalty. Just going to restart the game here.
Brophy will open the game at the first 6-on-6 opportunity here. Ben Geist with the ball. Tate Armstrong, a 6'6" lefty. Eli Friedman. And it looks like Pinnacle is trying to lock off Eli Friedman. Eli had 5 goals at Pinnacle when the two teams played. He is being locked off by number 12, Jack Rundle. Friedman gets his hands free. Shot goes wide, but Armstrong with the rebound, and he cages it. Tate Armstrong, less than 1 minute in, gives Brophy a 1-0 lead.
And so it begins, Scott. What a great play. I mean, Eli had a nice shot. Tate Armstrong picks the ball up off the carpet, dodges with a lot of confidence, which is something we've seen out of Tate Armstrong here probably the last 4, 5, 6 games, really the last half of the season. Tate Armstrong has played with a lot of confidence. We've been seeing him go behind cage, especially being that tall frame of 6'6". He can see, so he can dish real well, and he covers a lot of ground really quick. And right there, he turned the corner. There was no slide, and Rip City, baby, put it in the back of the net.
7th straight game with a goal for Tate Armstrong, his 20th of the season. Last year, he had 4 goals in 11 games played, so he has really taken on an added role for the Broncos. And Jack Grissoni with the make it, take it off the face-off. A bounce shot gets past Krukshuk, and it's 2-0, 2 goals within 7 seconds for the Broncos.
Coach Pat has got to be loving coming out, playing crisp, playing hard, playing fast. Obviously, when you can play make it, take it, and Jack Grissoni has been just coming on again the last half of the season as well, but all that out-of-state competition has really primed him for this. So anytime Jack gets the ball and knows what slide's coming on that face-off, I guarantee you he's shooting.
So for Grissoni, his 13th goal of the season, scored in 9 of the last 11 games now. And he wins the third faceoff of the game, 3 for 3 for Grissoni against Braden Lambert, who had 143 faceoff wins of his own on the season. And Brophy here with a 2-0 lead, just over 1 minute into the game, setting up their offense.
It's going to be real tough for Pinnacle. Very talented team, coached by Max Fleischman, who's an excellent coach, but it's going to be real difficult if they're going to lose that faceoff battle. If Jack can continue to win, this could be a long game for Pinnacle.
Eli Friedman with the take. Shot, lefty, goal. Eli Friedman getting out early. He's only had 1 goal in each of the last 2 games, 1 goal each, I should say. I think part of the offense we've seen early is to get Eli the ball and get him going, and there he took a dodge all the way to the cage. 3-0 Broncos, 3 unassisted goals.
What I like about that, Scott, is Eli is trying to get inside versus starting his game shooting outside. It's like shooting a layup in basketball. Get the rhythm going, get a couple confidence, hit a short jumper before you go all Steph Curry dropping 12, 15-yarders. So I like how Eli's doing that, and a very talented move. Actually goes down the right alley, switches to his left and takes the shot, throws off the goalie Jack. So really good job.
So we talked about Jack Krukshuk and his stellar play recently. The Broncos here getting up an early 3-0 lead, not even 1.5 minutes into the game. That has to shake this young goalie and give Brophy an added advantage, especially after he has played so well, including having 15 saves in the game at Pinnacle. In that game, it was a close game in the first half. It was 5-3 at the half as Krukshuk kept them in the game. But then Brophy went on a 7-1 run to run away with the game.
So what they're doing when they start Eli up top like that, probably 30, 40-yard line, or at least the 40-yard line, they're trying to draw a long slide, which creates the open man inside. So as Eli was dodging, he was looking for the inside. That time it was covered, so they moved it back through X. But that's what they're trying to accomplish when they're dodging so high up top. Good decision by Maddox Ranley to pull the ball out. That's what we're looking for here is Brophy to play under control, make the easy pass. There's no need to make difficult passes. Just take the easy pass, hit the open guy.
So Brophy content to move the ball around, starting its offense with high dodges every time with the ball. Here's Ranley with the shot, and that one wide will remain Brophy possession. 9 minutes remaining here in the opening period. A 3-0 Broncos lead in the semifinal round of the Arizona Lacrosse League playoffs. The winner goes to the championship game, where both teams met last year. Here's Friedman up top, again looking to initiate the offense. Ben Geist gets to the middle.
So, Scott, when they're doing this weave right here, great shot by Tate Armstrong. It was open. It was a good shot, good take just off the pipes. Little scrum at midfield here.
And Pinnacle comes up with the ball.
First time that Pinnacle gets a shot at offense here. Let's see what the Brophy defense does. Forcing, they're probably going to play a lot of pressure, try to create that chaos on the field and cause those turnovers.
For Pinnacle, watch for number 5. Oh, nice defensive play. Cannon Jansen right there with the strip, the takeaway. And it should be Brophy ball. There's a ball on the field. It will be the Broncos ball with the clear opportunity here behind their cage with 8:26 remaining in the first quarter, as Brophy will have its first clear opportunity.
Brophy's going to play very intense defense. It's playoff, Scott, so it's no hold bars, and they're going to get out. They're going to force Pinnacle to make a play. Nice clear over there by Brophy. Zach Lacoste, number 3, bringing it up. He's got to get a touch, so which means he's got to get within the 30, and he does that by getting over to Busey.
So the Broncos, after a successful defensive possession, now on offense.
The defense, when they're transitioning the ball over, we use the phrase, you got to get a touch. What that means, you got to get within the restraining box, which is really from GLE or the in-line to the 30-yard line on a football field.
So what that means, when you take possession of the ball, you have 30 seconds to cross midfield once you gain possession, and then another 10 seconds to get the ball in that box, which starts at the top of the 30-yard line on your screen. That is the advancement rule. If not, it becomes a turnover. Braden Duck, a freshman, number 22, with the ball.
They like bringing in Ducky, number 22, back there because of his quicks, his speed, and he can go right or left. Here we have Matthew Lightman looking for a dodge. Wisely pulls it out. See if we do a little two-man game. Looks like they're going to move the ball back through X. This is something that Brophy's done more and more through the year, is to play behind the cage to dodge up the alley and hit the cutter or take the shot.
Carter Fitzgerald from the backside, up top to Lightman. Gets to the middle, shot, and a bouncer hits the back of the net, and we have a 4-0 Broncos lead with 6:50 remaining in the first quarter.
Matty Ice buries it. I love it because he was going topside with his left hand, and Matthew could shoot it left-handed, but he got the defender to overcommit, which you're probably going to get that because they want to take away what's called topside, which is the middle of the field because that's the best angle for a shooter. But he was able to roll back and just crank and shoot on that. So excellent move, nice rollback, and he also used the defender as a screen so Jack couldn't see the ball and the bouncer would go. So the bank's open, bouncers are flying, and Brophy is making it really tough on this Pioneer defense.
So Brophy has 5 shots, 4 of them have gone in and 1 has hit the pipe. Of the on-goal variety, a couple have gone wide, but Brophy testing early. Cruikshank, there's Aiden Asher with a shot and a first save for a Cruikshank. But 5-0 on the faceoffs for Brophy. That will take its toll and already has.
Great box out by Todd, number 21. As you see the ball come out there, some people would say, well, why didn't he just pick up the ball? It was actually a better play to box his guy out, number 8, allow the ball to go out of bounds. Now it goes back to Brophy. So a heck of a job by Todd. Very high IQ play right there by number 21.
So one of the things that Coach Harbison said is to put up a lot of shots. He wanted to make sure Cruikshank had to work, and he has already in the early going. After his performance against Brophy the first time around in Friday night, Brophy knew that they had a tough order in store with Pinnacle's sophomore goalie.
Yeah, Jack's a really good goalie. He has really developed over the last couple of years as a really top-notch goalie here in this league. I bet you he probably will not have seen as many shots against a Brophy team versus others, including the first game. Probably going to be maybe a hold right there. It doesn't look like it's called.
Nice feed, though. After that play, Ranley kept his composure, took a step back to create some space, picked his head up and saw Eli Friedman open on the crease, and that's not where you want to leave Eli Friedman open, is right there on the crease. Caught it, turned, buried it, 5-0 Broncos.
Yeah, you don't leave number 12 open 7 or 8, 10 yards away from the field, or from the cage. That's not a good recipe for success. What I like about that, Scott, though, is Maddox didn't get rattled, to your point, made a couple of moves, turned, backed out, saw that Eli was open, and the reason why he was open is because Eli's guy slid to him, so he was able to hit that. So, again, Brophy's playing with a lot of high IQ right now, playing smart, playing disciplined, and just making plays happen. Make the defense move, hit the open guy. It's really a simple sport when you look at it like that.
When you move the ball, you get the defense out of position. As the old phrase goes, the ball moves quicker than running with it, and so passing the ball can play to your advantage. Yeah. That was a nice example of that with Ranley.
Absolutely. And the good thing is Brophy's already had a few different players score, which is going to be important. Usually, ideally you don't want to just rely on one or two guys. Brophy, when they have done well on offense, it's when everybody eats. And they have 4 scores right now. Nice look by Ducky, bringing it up top. Again, try to hit Tate there, which is a big target. It's like hitting a big tight end floating down the middle of the field, just a little bit out of his range. But great idea by Ducky there to look for a big Tate.
Josh Busey, who has not yet converted, he has 50 goals on the season. Nice feed from Busey over to Armstrong. Drew the double team. Josh kept his head up and again found his man on the crease. Tate Armstrong, a big target with the catch and score.
So Busey, everybody knows he's one of the top scorers in the league, going to a D1 school out in Charlotte, Queens University. So really, really prolific scorer. When Busey plays like that, good luck, because everybody's going to attract that slide. And when you put big Tate Armstrong right there on the pipe, again, you're hitting a big tight end like that, he's just going to bury it every time. So what a play by Josh Busey to come up, no look past the Tate Armstrong, and puts it in the back of the cage.
So Tate Armstrong with 2 goals tonight, like 21 on the season. He has definitely had an increased role this year with the Broncos after the graduation of 6 of 10 starters for Brophy last year. And Armstrong, big 6'6" lefty, but interestingly enough, Nate, that's the only thing he does lefty is play sports. He writes righty, he eats righty, he has great grades as a righty, and so he does play lacrosse left, and already it's paid off for 2 goals.
I wonder if his parents started him out early to get him go lefty, because at that size, I'm surprised he doesn't play baseball. I mean, I bet you that kid can bring the heat on the mound right there, especially as a lefty. But I know parents that will actually start their kid playing with their left hand very early on.
So we talked about Brophy's graduation. 6 of 12 starters, including the specialists, are not on the team this year after having graduated, many of whom are playing college lacrosse right now. Pinnacle in a similar situation. The Pioneers have 10 of their starters who graduated from last year's state runner-up team. They were 9-6 this year. The Pioneers come in with a similar 9-6 record. They were the 5th seed after a 5-5 regular season in the Arizona Lacrosse League. In the playoffs thus far, we mentioned the 8-6 win at Notre Dame Prep. In the quarterfinal round, they trailed 4-1 at the half, but exploded for 7 second-half goals to pick up the win. And in the first round, they beat the Desert Vista 2 team by a 15-2 mark, and that's how the Pioneers advanced here to tonight's contest. Jack Rossoni back at the faceoff X, 6 for 6 tonight, and make it 7 for 7 as the Broncos pick up the ball here. Maddox Ranley. And wing ground ball play was something that we wanted to keep an eye on, has been a theme for the Broncos. Mainly Grissoni has done a lot of it on his own successfully with a 60% win percentage, 66 in A.L.L. play. But already the Broncos have 2 of those 7 wins have gone to face-off wing players.
Yeah, Coach Max has got to figure something out. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring out a pole just on the face-off, which seems odd because to bring a 6-foot pole out. But the reason why you would do that is to try to at least create the ground ball, so at least you have a shot to get that ground ball, because right now Jack is on the top of his game.
Busey with the shot wide. Brophy, I'm sorry, Nate, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I like that look right there from Maddox, comes up the alley and hits the skip pass. We haven't talked about that yet tonight, but that is something that's very effective if an offense can hit the skip pass, because it means you have a step down that's wide open. And it was a great shot, just was off. It was off.
Again, we've seen some heady play already by the Broncos offense tonight with keeping the head up and finding passes, 2 of which led directly to goals. That one led to a great scoring opportunity. So passing the ball, getting the defense out of position works. And the Broncos are playing some unselfish ball here in the first quarter, leading 6-0 with 3:30 remaining in the opening 12 minutes.
So Brophy staying up top, running the offense. Maddox Ranley with a sweep across and just buries it from 15 yards. Right? Oh, that was a heck of a shot. And the sweep dodges are working, so Coach Pat's either started the offense behind the cage or up top. When they're moving it up top, they're doing what's called a weave. And so they're going to hit the wings, the players on the right or the left, and they're going to sweep across the top. Their first look, obviously, is what Maddox just did right there. Heck of a shot to bury that. They're going to look to shoot. The second thing they're going to look for is the inside player, like they did earlier hitting Eli. And then the third option that they're looking for is the skip pass to hit the step down.
So a broken record. Rossoni wins another faceoff, and Brophy on the move. Busey with the shot saved. That one was right at Cruikshank.
Great save by Jack right there. That's not easy to stop a Busey fastball. So nice job for Jack, and he needed that. Jack needs to stop to get a little confidence back there.
So Pinnacle on the move now with their third clear attempt of the game. This one is successful, but last time they had the ball down here, they turned the ball over. So let's see what the Pioneers have to offer on offense. Watch out for number 5, Davion Graves. He is with the yellow shoes at midfield. Team high 42 points for Davion. And he had 3 goals, 3 assists in the quarterfinal win over Notre Dame Prep. In the first game against Brophy, the Broncos did a nice job on him, and right now he's being locked off. But in the first game, he only had 1 goal, and that was late in the game. So part of the key to the 18-6 win was a nice defensive effort. But here, a goal for Pinnacle, number 33, Jack Blaylock, his 18th of the year, a North Central College lacrosse commit. Gets the Pioneers on the board with 2:24 remaining in the first quarter.
Great dodge, great play. That was actually their Pinnacle's first true possession, I think, in the whole game so far, with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first quarter. That was their first real possession. Great dodge by Jack to take the ball down the alley. There was no slide, so like any shooter will, they're going to take that shot. If their hands are free, they're going to rip. So they decided not to slide. And leave it up to Ryan. That time, Jack got the better of him. And Jack's a good dodger. He's a good shooter. He's had 17 goals this year. He can put the ball in the back of the cage.
So once again, the Broncos with possession. Ranley with this shot. And he finds some opening, some time and room from 15 yards out. Finds the net. Brophy answers right away after the first goal for Pinnacle.
Sign of a champion. Something goes wrong, bounce back and make a great play. They won the faceoff. They bring it down. Nice pass to get it to Maddox, and Maddox just rifles back. And, boy, when that kid could set his feet, that sucker's ripping through the air, and not a lot Jack could do on that shot.
So once again, the faceoff game is playing to Brophy's advantage, as the Broncos have gotten plenty of extra possessions. And one of the things Coach Fleischman talked to in the pregame about was winning the time of possession battle. And right now the time of possession, after 10 minutes of play here in the first quarter, is probably 9 minutes in Brophy's end and 1 minute in the Pinnacle end.
That was a heck of a job by freshman face-off, number 24, Corbin Ruschenberg. He lost the face-off, but he didn't give up. And he caused that turnover. Brophy's wing play stepped up, got the ball back, and now it's Brophy ball. So just because you make a mistake, don't make another one. And you got to love the fight from Corbin right there to get the ball back for his team.
So Brophy in a substitution here with 1:40 remaining in the opening period. An 8-1 lead for the Broncos as they look for their 7th appearance in the state championship in the last 8 years. Brophy has won 3 state titles in a row. Looking for number 4, which has never been done before.
Here we're seeing Matthew Lightman line up top again, about 40 yards away. He's quick. That first step, he's going to try to go down the alley, force the slide or let the rip. There he moves it back to X, a smart move. There's a step down, and buries it.
Great ball movement by the Broncos. They don't have anything called a hockey assist in lacrosse, but the ball movement, bing, bam, boom, resulted in a goal. Ben Geist with the finish.
Yeah, so again, I keep saying it, and I hope I can say this all night long, but the IQ part of that play is why they scored. Obviously, they had to execute, but Lightman dodges down the alley. Some players would force the shot. He didn't force the shot. He moved it to X, which causes the goalie to have to turn around, number one. Tate Armstrong sees a wide open Ben Geist for a step down up top, passes it, Ben steps into it, and buries it. So we're at 9-1 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first quarter.
So Corbin Ruschenberg at the faceoff X against Cooper Carlson. Cooper wins the faceoff. He takes a shot and gets the goal for Pinnacle with 1 minute remaining in the game. Cooper Carlson with the goal, his first faceoff of tonight, but in the game up at Pinnacle in the regular season, Cooper Carlson had 11 faceoff wins in that regular season matchup, so I would assume that we're going to see a lot more of him as this game progresses here. And that time he won the faceoff clean, took it down to the cage, and beat Ryan Peitzmeyer on the doorstep.
Yeah, that time the Brophy defense didn't slide on purpose, so he was wide open running to the cage. Basically what they're saying is, we're going to let your faceoff guy try to score and bet that our guy in cage can stop it, and we're not going to slide off your more dangerous attackman. So that time Pinnacle did a great job. The faceoff, he went all the way down, took a nice shot, and he beat Ryan, so hats off to him. So nice play, but that's what Brophy was doing by not sliding to him.
So 45 seconds remaining here in the first period. Kathan Cherukuri, his first touch in action of the night, number 4. For Brophy with 30 seconds to go. We'll see if the Broncos take a shot here or wait for the last one. LaCrosse takes a shot from X up the hash, goes wide, but Brophy with the run out and 28 seconds remaining. Still plenty of time left here in this opening quarter to add on to the 9-2 lead.
Yeah, good idea by Taylor LaCrosse to drive the ball up the alley, use the defender as a screen and take the shot. Great job by the defender to get a stick out and cause the shot to go off to the right.
Josh Busey with the face dodge, looking to go middle. His patented move shot, saved by Jack Krukchuk. And Pinnacle with a quick downfield pass, and that will expire the first period. So Brophy jumps out quick, scores the first 7 goals of the game, and takes a 9-2 lead after the first quarter of play.
Yeah, great first quarter for Brophy. Probably couldn't script it too much better than that if you're Coach Pat and the coaching staff. To jump up 9-2 in one quarter is impressive, and a way to start out a semifinals playoff game. You want to come out hot, you want to come out strong, you want to send the message right away, and that's what Brophy is not only attempted to do, but quite frankly did that in the first quarter. You got to love Pinnacle's fight. I mean, Pinnacle's a team that's going to believe. They're going to, every time we've seen them play, even the last time that they played Brophy, they didn't give up. They're not a team to give up. Coach Mack just doesn't create a program like that. He's going to have a bunch of fighters out there, so expect Pinnacle to come out and fight because they're still going to believe they have a shot. Hey, they're still playing on the field. If you're on the field, you got a shot if there's time on the clock. So I will say this. Pinnacle's got to figure out the face-off situation because right now it's basically make it, take it, go down to the courts, and that's how Brophy's playing, make it, take it, old school basketball right now. But they got to figure that out. The other thing is right now they've scored off of the fast break or off of face-off, and they have one dodge. Pinnacle has yet to actually move the ball around the perimeter of their offense yet. So that's something that they're going to have to get in some fluidity because right now their defense is on the field a long time. And over 4 quarters of high school lacrosse, it could be really dangerous if their defense has to play that long, that much.
So when you play close games in the past, teams on both sides have a memory of that. I think it was important for the Broncos, or for either team really, but it was Brophy's benefit to come out hot early because Pinnacle, like I said, last year in the state championship game, it was 5-2 at the half, and then Brophy scored 5 goals in the third and 4 in the fourth to clinch. In the regular season game, it was 6-3 at the half. So both times very close games at the half, which gives a good team and a physical team, a well-coached team like Pinnacle, the belief and the opportunity to stay alive. Brophy with a 7-0 lead from their standpoint said, hey, tonight is our night. We want to wrest control of this right away, and so we can have an easier last part of the game, and they did that at the start.
Yeah, and the last game was at Pinnacle. It's on their home turf, so they're going to come out fired up. Hey, the Pinnacle fans have traveled well. This place is packed right now for a great semifinal game here in Arizona. Nice take up the great slide inside by our defense right there to stop number 33, Jack, coming up the alley.
So Pinnacle retains possession here. This is Davion Graves, the leading scorer. Good defense by the Broncos. Triple teamed him. He got through a few of them, but had his stick checked at the end. Unfortunately, they called a slash penalty on that one, and Pinnacle will go up with a man advantage here, less than 1 minute into the second quarter.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, trying to watch the replay. I'm sure it's on there, but they probably called, it looks like they may have called that slash. So good call by the refs. Regardless, if you're the defensive coordinator for Brophy, you're going to live with that because, one, you'd rather have a penalty and force them to score versus getting them a shot 2 feet away from the cage. Number two, it shows that your team's playing with passion, they're playing with heart, and they're playing physical. And I'd rather get a penalty playing physical than not. So I think Coach Patton, the defensive coordinator, is going to live with that right now.
So Brophy here with the man down situation. We'll see if the Pioneers can find their third goal of the evening.
Yeah, good job by Pinnacle to move the ball around. They're being patient. They have a few seconds left of this man up situation, which means they're 6v5. So in theory, they have a guy that should be open for a shot. Brophy's going to try to force that shot from the outside, not inside.
Good collapse there defensively by the Broncos. Every time Pinnacle finds what they might have as a space to shoot it, Brophy's right there. Another closeout by Baldiga made the shot a little bit wide. We are with 12 seconds remaining in the power play situation, which I'm calling it a power play for those at home to give you a hockey equivalent so you can understand what this man-up situation is. 5 seconds remaining. Great closeout by the Broncos. Nice turnover. Harrison Yu with the ball and the breakout. Look out for him. He's got loads of speed as the Broncos kill off the man-down situation. There's Ben Geist with the ball. And Ben Geist, you can't give him room and get to the doorstep. Beautiful pass by Harrison Yu. Ben Geist, his second of the night.
Yeah, I mean, good job for by Pinnacle to move the ball, try to find the open shot. They had a shot. Again, it was outside. Brophy's going to live with that. They're going to depend on their D1 commit to Utah, Ryan Petzmeyer, to make that save. That time, you had Zach LaCrosse up top as a defender playing almost a zone, right, because they're down one man. So he's back and forth between two guys, forcing a difficult pass for his attackman to catch. Ball hits the turf, and when Harry Wood gets the ball, it's Sia time. He's flying down. He's the shift gears in the Ferrari, and he's taking it all the way. Very unselfish play. Hit Ben Geist streaking down the middle for another touchdown right there.
So good patience by Pinnacle on the man-up situation, but didn't really threaten with shots. And Brophy got the turnover, immediately went into transition and caged it. So Brophy's transition game has been strong all year long. It's one of the things we've heard throughout the season that opposing coaches are definitely on the lookout for and want to slow the game down. It's one thing that, again, Coach Fleischman talked about was winning the time of possession battle. And right now, that is clearly in Brophy's favor. Here's Eli Friedman initiating the offense, and this is Josh Busey. Shot saved by Krukchuk. Jack with a nice save, and see if he gets in a groove here like he has been recently. Pinnacle clearing the ball successfully was a key for Coach Fleischman. They've had a little bit of struggles early, and there is one. They got the ball into the box, but a turnover gives the ball back to the Broncos. 9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, another stop by Jack on Josh Busey, so great job to him. And just can't have that turnover, right? So Brophy clears the ball with ease. Zach LaCrosse brings it up, hits Ben Geist right in the middle. Pinnacle's got to ride a little bit harder to get back some turnovers, and they unfortunately just can't turn the ball over that quick in the situation. They got to keep the ball.
Nice inside roll, good defensive help there by Pinnacle. Lightman still remains possession. Over to Tate Armstrong.
Yeah, good decision to roll back and move the ball around.
Josh Busey finds a short stick opportunity, shot and a goal. His first of the night. Josh Busey with the goal, giving Brophy an 11-2 lead.
If we got this on the replay, you'll watch Josh Busey. This is a kind of a leaner, what you'd say. So he's coming around, nice sweep dodge, puts his shoulder down his head. He can do that as long as he's got both hands on the stick. Otherwise, it could be a
kind of a leading with the head.
Leading with the head, but he can get away with it. But when he took the shot, he looked down, and so it caused Jack to drop to his knees because he thought he was going to shoot like a bouncer, which have gone against Jack all night. Looks down, but then pops the ball high. So real creative play right there by Josh Busey.
Face-off win once again for the Broncos. Harrison Yu with the ball. Another wing face-off win for the Broncos. That's 4 wing ground balls off face-offs for Brophy. 13-2 overall face-off advantage, and it has been a key facet to tonight's game is Brophy's face-off wins and number of possessions.
Yeah, one of the many successes of any team is going to be the ground balls. We talk about that all the time, right, Scott? So whoever wins the ground balls typically can win the game. But that's something that Brophy has taken pride in over the last few years is it's usually a one scoop and go with their ground balls. So excellent job.
Carter Fitzgerald, he finds a lefty, finds the back of the net as he sweeps through to the middle of the field, and with 7:51 remaining here in the second period, Carter Fitzgerald on the board giving Brophy a 12-2 lead.
Yeah, Carter, again, this is for the kind of that sweep or that weave type offense that they're running up top. Again, Carter he's got a great shot. He's a lefty, so when he's coming across, if you're not going to jump the midi who's crossing over the middle, it's the best angle on the field is right in front of the cage. So if you're not going to slide to that, those guys are going to rip. And every one of these Brophy guys that steps on the field to play offense, they're good. I mean, they can put in the back of the cage, and Carter does just that.
Brophy has had 8 different scores for its 12 goals here this evening. A balanced scoring attack was something that Coach Harbison wanted to see. 11 different scores against Boulder Creek in the 16-1 win in the quarterfinals, and in the big regular season finale against Chandler, Brophy had 9 different scores. So a balanced scoring attack keeps the defense on its toes. It doesn't know where the shots are coming from, and Brophy has once again succeeded in that tonight.
Great defense there by number 3, Zach Lacoste. Forces the ball on the ground. 32 makes a nice job getting the ball back. Forces him again to take a shot, and a nice play by Ryan to stuff him. So very good defense, very good offense there as well by number 32, Brady Harmon.
Brady's one of the top scorers, 23 goals on the year. Nice inside roll, but Peitzmeyer up to the task. Here's Tal Baldiga, the long pole with the shot. Saved by Krukchik, but Alex White, a freshman, comes up with the run out, and Brophy retains possession here.
Gotta love the big fella ripping it. Here's Eli going to take it downtown and just smokes another one.
Quick restart for the Broncos. A heads-up play by Alex White saw Harrison Yu on the wing. Harrison was a U.S. box lacrosse national team player, so he's familiar with using a short stick even though he's a defensive player. He quickly saw a cutting Eli Friedman coming out of the box. Friedman found some time and room, saw the advantage, a beautiful bounce shot past Krukchuk.
Yeah, great play by the freshman Alex White to go out and get the ball to maintain possession, move the ball to the wing. Harry moves it real quick. Again, that ball's moving hot. It causes Jack, the goalie, to have to move his feet and get unsettled. And when that happens, you got a fireball coming from Eli, and Eli is just flat out feeling it tonight. Brophy with another face-off win. We got the freshman out here, number 8, Louis Merkel, really promising freshman, scrappy player, and plays that face-off position really well. So Brophy is blessed to have multiple talented face-off.
Louis Merkel comes from a very athletic family. His sister, Cammie, runs track and field at Nebraska. His sister was a sophomore lacrosse player at Marietta. His brother, Nico, runs cross-country at St. John's in New York. So Louis has a bright athletic future ahead of him if his genes are going to predict anything for us, for Louis. But again, a beautiful freshman-sophomore combination between Louis Merkel and Jack Rossoni, plus the freshman Corbin Ruschenberg. So the face-off prospects for the Broncos are looking very bright for the future. Here's Eli Friedman again, getting a step with his shot. Bounce shot goes over the top. 5:53 remaining in the first quarter here, and Brophy wins the run out once again. Alex White with the good hustle behind the cage.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. Nice shot, nice rip. Good job by Jack. There's a lot of things you can do if you don't have the ball. Number 1, move without the ball to get open. Number 2, make the hustle plays, and that's what freshman Alex White did again to maintain possession and to give Brophy yet another shot on goal.
Timeout here for Pinnacle. Pioneers' second timeout of the first half, a wise one by Max Fleischman as he saw his player was in trouble along the sideline. The sideline's like an extra defender for the team. He saw that it was a dangerous situation, and he talked about how clears were very important. We talked about time of possession being very important, And that was a big possession for Pinnacle right now, trailing 13-2. He wants to make sure that that Pinnacle gets a set-wise possession here at the 5:37 mark of the second quarter. The ball did not clear midfield before the timeout was called, so Pinnacle will still have to cross the midfield line with about 4 yards. There is a 5-yard buffer required, so Pinnacle has a great chance of getting the ball across midfield on this clear. Now they put the ball probably in the possession of Davion Graves. And Davion, the team, has done a nice job. Brophy has done a nice job of shutting him down thus far, not really giving him any opportunities. He did create the one man-up opportunity, but other than that, the Brophy defense has been up to par. Nate, I'm looking at the crowd here tonight, both to my right and my left, and this might be one of the strongest crowds, and maybe the strongest crowd of the year we've had here at the Brophy Sports Complex this year. It's about evenly split. Pinnacle has really showed out very well, as has the Brophy Broncos, and we hope a lot of you are tuning in nationwide to hear this Arizona Lacrosse League playoff game. We know we have regular viewers on the Brophy side from New York State, from the Pacific Northwest, even from New Jersey. So thank you to all our viewers tonight and all season long for paying attention and your interest in Arizona high school boys lacrosse.
Yeah, Pinnacle's a great program, great families, great program, great players. So it's always a pleasure when these two teams get to go on the field and compete. It's always a special time. So happy to see the turnout that we have here, and you would expect that from just a great organization in the Pinnacle Pioneers.
So Pinnacle with the ball here, 5 minutes remaining in the opening half. Windy here, as you can hear through our microphones.
Yeah,
Pinnacle will reset here. Davion Graves with the ball.
Pinnacle's they're not able to get inside. Brophy's doing a really, really good job. It's been an area of focus the last few games to really clamp down on that inside. Obviously, against a guy like Ryan and Cage, the closer you get to the cage, the better your odds of scoring. So Brophy knows that, what a team's going to try to do and hit the cutter. Brophy's been doing a pretty good job of shutting down the middle, and especially in this game so far.
Nice save by Heitzmeyer off of Jack Blaylock, whose helmet falls off on his dive to the cage, but beautiful save by Heitzmeyer. He's had 2 doorstop saves, not just the easy variety, but 2 doorstop saves right now, which are not the easiest in the world. But here come the Broncos now with 4.5 minutes remaining in the opening half.
Yeah, and on offense, Scott, the Pioneers are going to probably have to play a little bit of a 2-man game up top or from the wing, and then look to hit a skip pass to give it an open shot for their outside shooters, and then have 1 or 2 guys cutting inside. Right now, they're going to have to switch up a little bit of their offense because it's been stymied right now by this pretty stout defense.
Alex, oh, go ahead, Nate.
Oh, I was just saying, Brophy's going to be patient here. 3 minutes and 53 seconds left. They're up by 11, 13-2. So they're going to move the ball around and try to look for the right shot. And that's what you want to see consistently throughout the rest of this game is, are we taking the right shots?
So a shot there by Kathan Cherukuri was a good shot, but wide. Pinnacle had a closest player to the ball when the ball went out of bounds, giving the Pioneers possession of the ball. And here's a clear attempt by Pinnacle. Goes to the middle of the field, and there are 4 Broncos defenders there waiting to meet Caden Cresswell. And Cresswell gets the ball across, and Pinnacle has the clear attempt. And here's some, watch out for Brady Harmon, excuse me. He has 23 goals on the season. He had 2, was the leading scorer for Brophy. 2 goals for Pinnacle, 2 goals against Brophy in the regular season matchup. And this is Owen Lauber, 26 goals on the season. An offensive force. He's had 5 games with 3 goals each. One goal against the Broncos in the regular season.
Yeah, Owen Lauber's a talented freshman on the Pioneers. Does a really good job, plays nationally for West Coast Stars as well. So big, strong, fast talent, and a heck of a football player too.
That was Brady Harmon. Save again by Heitzmeyer, and he gets the ball out quickly for the Broncos. Todd Baldiga on the clear, and he will get it into the box. Timeout by Brophy there. Coach Harbison said we have a long pole there. We have 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the opening half. let's take a timeout. Let's get things set, get our regular 6-on-6 offense on the field, and find an offensive play that we're going to like here as we look to close out the first half with a 13-2 Brophy lead.
Yeah, Brophy's got to be pretty pleased right now with the way that they're playing defense, Scott. It is really hard for Pinnacle to get any shots off that are going in. Obviously, they'll only score 2. One was off a dodge pretty quick within their offense. The other one was off the face-off win. So right now, that defense for Brophy is stepping up. They're shutting down the middle. Pinnacle's trying, but they're shutting down the middle. And, of course, you know, Ryan's playing fantastic here in the second quarter, stuffing a couple of those. And when he does that, the thing that's really tough on the opponent is it sparks that fast break, and then Brophy gets in that transition, and a lot of times it's automatic.
And in situations like that, when you have a doorstop shot and you're the offensive team and it's saved, it's a little bit of a deflating mechanism too. So the goalie gets it, so you naturally sometimes drop your shoulders, and that's when Peitzmeyer's so good about giving an outlet pass out to Harrison Yu or one of the other players, and then Brophy's off to the races and they have an advantage just by the fact of the stunned offensive team that now has to transition back into a defensive situation.
Brophy's blessed because they have 3 defenders down low that are extremely athletic. We've already seen all 3 of them take the ball themselves and clear it. Number 3, Zach Lacoste. Number 19, Dane Helt. And number 21, Todd Baldega. All 3 of them can just take the ball and go. That's not always the case with your what you call your close D defenders. So on top of that, you have an SSDM like a Harry Wu. I mean, it is really difficult to stop a team like that.
So here come the Broncos with 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, looking for the right shot. Eli Friedman initiating the offense. This is a set play, obviously, that Coach Harbison wanted out of the timeout. There's Josh Busey being defended very closely. They are very keen about Busey, who had 4 goals in the championship game win last year at Notre Dame Prep for the Broncos. 4 goals in that championship game, a 2-time first-team All-State player. And here we have a flag drawn. And that means with the flag down, Brophy has a free shot opportunity. Geist takes advantage, and Brophy has a 14-2 lead with 1:36 left in the first half. Let's see if the flag was of a 1-minute variety or a 60-second variety, whether Brophy will have a man-up advantage coming out after the goal.
Yeah, we'll see there. Great play, great hustle all around. Tate Lacoste scoops the ball, hustles out behind the cage, scoops up the ground ball, sees Ben Geist wide open, hits a nice lefty pass up top. Ben Geist takes a couple of steps and puts it in the back of the cage. So really heads-up play by Tate Lacoste and a great finish by number 35, Ben Geist.
It looks like it will be a penalty. So we're at 1:36 remaining in the first quarter. Brophy will have a 60-second opportunity here, including the face-off, and face-off wins have been 14 out of 17 for the Broncos. And here's Harrison Yu with the ball, and once again, Coach Harbison calls timeout coming out of the face-off.
So Jack on the face-off, really just great technique right there to actually, you know, basically boot the ball back towards his own cage, knowing that he could get back there faster than the Pioneers face-off, and so then was able to get it because they didn't have a wing player. He's able to quickly skip it to Harry and on the fast break. So interesting, Coach Pat called the timeout, probably wants to set him get another goal, but they did have a fast break opportunity right there.
I think Coach Harbison was definitely planning on saying, hey, we have a man-up opportunity. Let's not waste it in a transition, even if it scores a goal. Let's not waste our time right now in a transition. Let's get it set. We know we have a man-up opportunity. I trust our offensive players to get in the right space, and with an extra man, if we move the ball right, we're going to have a quality shot that will result in a goal as opposed to a transition, which may lead to some uncertainty in a shot that maybe isn't as good as what we can draw up here in the man-up opportunity. So Brophy, 14-2 lead here with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. This is the first extra man opportunity for the Brophy offense. So we have Tate Lacoste, Carter Fitzgerald, Tate Armstrong, Eli Friedman, Bryce Delgado, and Josh Busey are the 6 members of the extra man unit here, with a 54 seconds remaining in this extra man opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is the first time for Bryce Delgado, freshman, number 34, talented player coming down here, especially on man up. So they must be drawing up a certain type of a play here.
Good ball movement, nice quick.
Good decision by Taylor LaCrosse not to pass it, or not to shoot it, but to pass it around, draw the slide and dump, called draw and dump.
LaCrosse with the shot goes wide, and Pinnacle will retain possession with 1 minute remaining here in the opening half.
Yep, good play, good ball movement, good skip pass over to Tate for the shot, just went a little bit wide. Ideally, you'd want an attack back there to maintain possession, but that didn't happen, so now you're going to have to put on a heavy ride to try to get that ball back, and looks like they're forcing that.
Great pressure by the Brophy offense. Josh Busey, the attackman. Baldiga with the ball at midfield. He takes it himself. Bounce shot past the goalie, and we are at 15-2. That was set up by Josh Busey on the offensive ride there, making it difficult for the Pinnacle goalie to gain some space. He felt the heat, was trying to get the ball upfield, and Todd Baldiga took advantage with the bounce, took a step over midfield. Generally, the defensive players feel like they can't go over midfield, but Brophy had enough players on the defensive half which allowed Baldiga to step over wisely, collect the ball, collect his thoughts, and collect a goal.
Yeah, really smart for the offensive player to step over so that Top could take the ball back, and just like, you know, the great Chris Berman of football, he's rumbling, stumbling all the way. He could go all the way, and he did. And again, you let a big pull, that wide open, you're up 14-2. Let her rip, big fella. Let her rip.
So Pinnacle with the ball in this settled offensive situation. Davion Graves here with the ball, number 5, guarded by Harrison Yu, a senior headed for Colorado College in Colorado Springs. Beautiful defense by Harrison Yu.
Yeah, Harrison Yu and Zach LaCosse really giving double teaming up there. Forces that shot wide. Pinnacle does maintain possession. Scott, Pinnacle needs a goal here. If you're a Pinnacle fan, you desperately need a goal going into halftime with a little bit of momentum.
Here's another double team. That's going to be a flag. They had the possession there. They had the offensive player where he wanted it, and then an unnecessary penalty. Pinnacle will start the second half with a man-up opportunity here for 60 seconds as Brophy commits a penalty in the last 0.7 seconds of the first half. So Pinnacle will take advantage here with 0.7 left.
Yeah, so even though they have time left on the clock, there's 0.7 seconds. Pinnacle will not shoot it. The reason why, to your point, Scott, if they don't shoot it, they go into the third quarter man up. So that's why they're just going to hold it, let the clock run out, and go. I was going to say this earlier. Brophy had played such a clean first half with no penalties, or no, what I would call bonehead penalties. We really didn't need that kind of penalty right there. You got to love that they're playing hard. You got to love that they're playing aggressive. But the reality is that offensive player had no shot to really maintain possession of the ball or go do anything with it. So just play fundamental, swarm the offensive player, get your stick in on his hands and cause that turnover. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Didn't hurt Brophy here, but I can guarantee you this, probably Coach Pat's going to walk in there and talk about that. In other words, use your head, make the right decisions.
It hasn't hurt them yet. They still have 1 minute left on the man-up opportunity because Brophy, to your point, played sound fundamental defense. The double team was great there. I think it was Dane Helt had contained his man, and Aiden came over and was in a great position to deny him the middle of the field. But what he didn't do well was that he used a cross-check opportunity instead of just staying his ground and blocking him from the path that he committed that penalty. But Pinnacle is not dying yet. 15-2, but the Pioneers are going to play strong. Max Fleischman will have his team ready to play in the second half, and we'll learn more when we come back. A beautiful scene here in Phoenix, Arizona. Piestewa Peak is the scenery in the background overlooking Brophy Sports Complex. And Brophy's lacrosse team has peaked in the first half with a 15-2 lead over the Pinnacle Pioneers in the Arizona Lacrosse League semifinal. The Broncos jumped out to a quick 7-0 lead and now leads 15-2 in the second half. We will have a running clock due to the score margin, but the deal for Brophy in the first half was winning 15 of 19 faceoffs, outshooting Pinnacle 38-2, and having no turnovers in the opening 24 minutes of play. Jack Cruikshank, a talented young goalie for Pinnacle, has just faced so many shots by the Brophy offense. He's done the best he could, but Brophy is out with a 15-2 advantage. We will start the second half with a man-up situation for Pinnacle, and the Pioneers need a goal in this power play situation to start the second half with some momentum.
Yeah, Pinnacle desperately needs a goal right here, and let's see if Brophy can maintain the focus for the second half, up 15-2. You know, Coach Pat's not going to want his team to get complacent at all. It doesn't mean you got to throw up another 15 goals, but it does mean you got to make the right decisions, play with urgency, play with passion, make the right decisions, and take the right shots.
So the clock didn't start, so we'll try it once again here with Pinnacle having a 59-second, essentially a full 1 minute man-up situation. The clock has begun, and we are back underway here in the second half. Pinnacle, in its only man-up situation in the first quarter, showed great patience in moving the ball around and not turning the ball over, but did not really test Ryan Peitzmeyer. Peitzmeyer with 3 big saves in that second quarter for the Broncos.
Yeah, what Pinnacle's going to be looking, or any offense when you're man up, you're either looking for a skip pass, you're looking for someone cutting down into the middle, or you're looking for someone down on the pipe. Those are usually the 3 different areas where you primarily see that. Great defense right there. Oh, they call it push with possession, it looks like. So it stays with Pinnacle.
So Pinnacle with about 10 seconds left in the penalty here. And Pinnacle with the ball here. Now we are even strength. 6-on-6 situation. And here with the ball is David Mankin, guarded by Baldiga, who is committed to Mercer University in Georgia, going to play Division I lacrosse. Scored a goal there late in the first half for the Broncos. A first-team All-State defensive player was Taub. And here Pinnacle content to keep possession and make the right play to get that shot opportunity. A quick double team. Baldiga assisting Maddox Ranley on that defensive play.
Yeah, great defense here by Brophy, getting sticks on the hands. Nice save by Ryan Peitzmeyer right there. Again, forcing another outside shot, and Scott, they're going to live with that. Brophy's going to live with that. They're going to force, if Pinnacle's going to get on the board, they're going to force them to do it from the outside. Great catch there by the wing, number 8. Nice save by Ryan again, sparking the fast break to number 16, Harry Wu, and the race is on. Let's see what Harry does with the ball.
Harrison with the ball. Over to Eli Freeman, behind the back shot, saved by Cruikshank. He had 7 in the first half, and his first of the second half there in transition. And he collects the ball in the crease after some back and forth play there. And Pinnacle on the move now.
So good push in transition by Harry. It's an open Eli Freeman. Eli Freeman tries to go behind the back, which is not necessarily always a bad decision. Depends on the angle. Jack right there, he made a nice stop, and then Brophy fought to get the ball back. Didn't, and a nice job by Jack and the Pinnacle defense to save a goal there and not go down 16-2. So Pinnacle's going to be patient here. They're bringing on their full 6-on-6, and they got it. Scott, Pinnacle's got to do a little 2-man game with some backside exchange. They got to do some off-ball picks. They got to make the defense move, and they really haven't done a lot of that so far tonight. Brophy's been able to play aggressive, press out, and enforcing turnovers, right? Just like that right there.
In fairness to Pinnacle, they haven't had the ball much on the offensive end. Here's Harrison Yu with the ball. Yu looking for a man, finds LACROSSE on the transition, and Tate over to Maddox Ranley with the shot, and his Third goal of the night for Maddox Ranley. A nice transition, patient transition offense by the Broncos.
Yeah, it's almost what you call a slow break. So you have a fast break and you have a slow break. Would have been a fast break if Tate LaCrosse on the wing would have took the ball to the cage. It wasn't open, so wisely he pulled it out in a slow break, allowed the trailing midi to come in, Maddox Ranley. He turns around and hits him for a wide open step down. Again, we said this before, but when Maddox is able to set his feet and let it rip, I mean, that ball is fine in the back of the cage more times than not.
That's his second goal of 15 yards for Maddox tonight. And now Brophy with another face-off victory.
Yeah, just a great overall high IQ play by both players there, by Tate LaCrosse and Maddox Ranley.
And here come the Broncos. Eli Freeman initiating the offense. Mason Lenius on defense. Nice save there by Krukchuk.
Yeah, that's a great save by Jack. He's getting pelted tonight, so props to him for standing in there. He's probably never taken 32 shots and a half, Scott. That's incredible. Great ride here by Brophy's defense, or by Brophy's attack. They're really forcing. They're only going to have about 8 to 10 seconds to get the ball, so Jack wisely just kind of does the, pun intended, Hail Mary here at Brophy, but throws the Hail Mary just to clear it. What that does, smart play by Jack, because time was running out, it forces him to take the ball basically 100 yards to get the ball back on our offensive side.
That's the second time tonight that the Brophy attack line has forced a turnover on the ride situation. There, a nice double team by Busey and LaCrosse forced the ball back, and Krukchuk chucked the ball down the field. We have a flag here for an offside, so Brophy will have a 30-second man-up advantage at a dead ball situation if they do not score on their shot here. But what that also means is that Pinnacle has 7 defensive players on the defensive end of the field. Harrison Yu with the shot and the save by Krukchuk. His 10th of the evening, and Brophy will have a 30-second man-up advantage. On the first opportunity, Brophy did not score, but has found the net 16 times tonight.
Nice save by Jack. You gotta respect him standing.
Third goals here on the field, and Pinnacle will set the ball up here. That was a nice timeout by Max Fleischman. Max has done a nice job at Pinnacle in his 3 years there, leading the Pioneers to the state championship game last year, and again this year with a wholesale change of his roster to get Pinnacle with a big win over Notre Dame Prep in the quarterfinals and here to the semifinals. And Max will be departing the Pinnacle program at the end of the year. He has a brand new 6-month-old son, so congratulations to Max on that, and thank you for all your contributions to Arizona lacrosse, not only in the field for your Pinnacle players, but what you've done to help build some structure in the league overall. I'm sure we'll see him on the club fields because Max is not someone who's not going to have lacrosse as a passion, as part of his life in some way, shape, or form. So thank you, Max, for what you have contributed to Arizona lacrosse for Pinnacle and overall in your time here.
Another great example there. Fast break out from Ryan. Hits Zach LaCrosse streaking another pole. Let's see if Brophy can set up a shot. Wisely, Josh Busey pulls the ball out. Great transition defense by Pinnacle right there to stop the fast break. Looks like we have another offsides. Is that the call, Scott?
It shouldn't be. I see 3 people on the defensive side of the field, but a whistle nonetheless, and so Pinnacle has the ball, but thrown away there. On the clear, Dane Helt with the ground ball collection and advances it up for the Broncos here with 1 minute plus in the third quarter. A 17-2 lead for the Broncos. Josh Busey with the ball.
So normally I'd say Brophy would probably try to play for the last shot. That's typically what you would see. There's no shot clock in Arizona lacrosse, high school lacrosse. About 54 seconds left. So Brophy's probably going to start to look to take the shot with around 15 to 18 seconds would be my guess. That way it doesn't leave Pinnacle with enough time to shoot. Ducky brings the ball up the hash. Looks to make the pass. Unfortunately, it was dropped, but it was a great play, a great look, great decision. Here we have Matthew Lightman coming up the hash again. Going to wisely move the ball. 30 seconds, plenty of time. Oh, nice skip pass by Braden Duck to Alex White. 2 freshman to freshman there. And again, great hustle by the attackman to maintain possession.
Remember, we're in a running clock situation here, so even though it's a dead ball, the clock is running. We have 15 seconds and counting here. Braden Duck with the ball, playing a 2-man game from X. Over to Kathan Cherukuri. Alex White up top with some time and room and goal. Alex White with 3 crow steps there. A nice ball movement from the Broncos leads to a goal here at the end of the third quarter. Brophy with an 18-2 lead, 12 minutes remaining.
So excellent job by 2 freshmen and a sophomore there moving the ball. Matthew Lightman, earlier senior, being a leader on this field right now with these freshmen and sophomores leading the crew. But great job moving the ball around. And this is something we've seen from Alex a few times this year. You know, mostly we've seen Alex as a great finisher right around the crease within, 3 to 5 yards. But there's now been a handful of shots where Alex gets free up top, usually playing attack when he's not up top. But he was able to get free up top, and he hit a nice 12-foot rip right there. So that's a great ball movement. And with the clock winding down, Brophy didn't freak out. They didn't panic. They moved the ball around and took the right shot. And Coach Pat's got to be excited about that, seeing younger players make really good decisions.
So we will see a new goalie for the Broncos here. We're talking about younger players in the fourth quarter. Starting it out will be sophomore Brady Baltzel. So he will go between the pipes for the Broncos, who have 12 minutes left and right now looking in a pretty good position to return to the state championship for the 7th time in the last 8 seasons. Who will the Broncos play? Well, right now the other semifinal is going on, and at the half, Desert Vista leads Chandler 4-3. Desert Vista jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and the Chandler team has come back to narrow the gap to only 1. We knew that game would be close heading into the championship game on Friday night, which will be played at Desert Vista at 7:30 p.m. So if you can make it down to Desert Vista and watch in person, please do. If not, make sure you tune in to APN Video, as there will be a live stream of the championship game on Friday night. Our good friend and producer, director, operations manager, Jeff Lowry, will be on the call of the game. For the championship game. He did call the game last year between these 2 teams and has the last several years. He will be once again on the call for the state championship game on Friday night. Right now we'll keep an eye on that Desert Vista Chandler score. Those 2 teams played in the regular season, and Chandler did post the victory. It was the game's final regular season for both teams. After Chandler had played Brophy, Chandler came back and beat Desert Vista to secure the number 2 seed. And that is number 2 versus number 3 going on right now down in Chandler. So the Broncos with the ball here after Pinnacle won the opening faceoff of the fourth quarter. As we see Brady Baltzel, as we talked about, sophomore goalie, plays for West Coast Stars in the club scene. Cross midfield, but then a turnover here. And this is Caden Cresswell with the interception and the goal for Pinnacle, getting on the board early in the fourth quarter. Caden Cresswell, his 5th goal of the year from the short stick D midi position, takes advantage of a Brophy turnover. We talked about turnovers being limited. The first one being a 2:46 of the third quarter, and here one early in the fourth quarter, and it cost the Broncos. Nice play by Pinnacle.
Yeah, hopefully we didn't jinx the Brophy lacrosse club here, but the 2 turnovers not a good sign for Brophy. Brady, a very talented goalie that Brophy has, and they have 3 very talented goalies here at the varsity 1 level. So good job by Pinnacle. You got to love the deep downtown shot to hit that. That's actually not that easy to do when you're about 35, 40 yards away, and he still buried it. So kudos to him. Great shot, great play, great defense, great ride by the Pinnacle Pioneers.
And Pinnacle with possession of the ball again. And Pinnacle, like we talked about, Max Fleischman will have this team still amped up to play. They have not quit. They have their key players still on the field, and they're hustling. They're playing like the 0-0 game at the start, which is nothing surprising to us. Nice rocker move by Brady Harmon. Couple of flags there as Brophy collapses on defense. A slash will give the Pioneers a 60-second man-up opportunity. A beautiful rocker play by Brady Harmon leads to the Brophy penalty.
Yeah, so this is going to be important for the Brophy players that get the opportunity to come out on the field. You want to make an impression. You want to impress the coach. You want to impress your teammates, but you still want to make the right decisions and play sound fundamental defense. On offense, you don't want to turn into hero ball. You want to move the ball around. Brophy's moved the ball extremely well. Multiple players have scored, so you want to maintain that same continuity. If you get a chance to be on the field, it's not about me, it's about we, right? And so the temptation as a player who doesn't see the field a lot is that they try to maximize or make the most, and they do too much. So let's see if the Brophy players can still play within the context of the game and the game plan here, while Pinnacle is going to continue to fight and battle. And right now they're man up, moving the ball around, again, looking inside for that cutter.
So Pinnacle with possession in a man-up situation, 0 for 2 tonight. Davion Graves looks for Luke Bell. Luke Bell, a young sophomore left-handed player for the Pioneers. Watch him on the left wing.
So it's hard to come in as a defensive player or offensive player if you're man up, but it's probably more difficult as a defensive player to come in if you're not on the regular man down
shot off the
unit.
pipe.
And none of these guys are, except for Dane, is on the man down unit that I could see out there.
The Pinnacle finds an opening there. Off the man-up situation, off the pipe. They recollect possession. And Luke Bell, we just talked about him, the sophomore lefty, gets his 20th goal of the year for Luke Bell. And Pinnacle with 2 in a row, 18-4 is the score.
Yeah, Luke Bell's a talented attackman out here for Pinnacle and a major contributor for this team. So good for him for getting on the scoreboard right there. And again, you know, Pinnacle playing well, playing hard. They're not turning into hero ball. They're moving the ball around. They found the open shot. First one went off the pipe. They got the rebound, put it back in. So excellent job by the Pinnacle offense.
Matthew Hawkins on the face-off for the Broncos, number 9. His first action tonight. And a midfield scrum here. Picked up by Jordan Hidalgo, number 14. And timeout by the Broncos as Hidalgo collected possession, was crossing midfield. But a beautiful play and off a nice, intense midfield scrum. Broncos get possession. Again, some of the Broncos' young players on the field. We talk about number 14, Jordan Hidalgo, number 23, Rex Richardson, number 28, Ryan Manara, 9, Matthew Hawkins, 17, Kendall Winston. So the program's still in a young place, only 5 seniors for the Brophy Broncos. So the future for the Broncos looks to be a strong one as the Broncos look for state title number 4 on Friday night. Who will they play? We talked about Desert Vista and Chandler locked in a 4-3 matchup down in Chandler. 3-time all-first team goalie Diego Balderrama for Desert Vista has off to a strong start. The text I got from one of the Chandler parents was Diggy on fire. And so Balderrama led the team as a freshman to the state championship game when they played Brophy. The first of Brophy's 3 state championships that year was Brophy defeating Desert Vista. And so that started off this current run for the Broncos, but Balderrama very familiar to this Brophy team. Played club ball with a lot of the players in addition to his high school career, where Brophy and Desert Vista have had some locked up matchups over the last 3+ years. Here we have 7:26 remaining in the ball game. Brophy with the ball in an 18-4 victory. Pinnacle has scored the game's last 2 goals here in the 4th quarter. As we are in a running clock situation here, Maddox Ranley with 3 goals tonight for the Broncos offense. You can hear the wind kicking up here. Ranley with the shot wide.
We're still looking here, Scott, for Brophy to run through the offense, and that's what Coach Pats is going to want to see, is move the ball again. The same continuity that you've seen all through this evening, and the prolific production out of this Brophy offense. They're going to want to see that continue, not just to get the ball and take the shot.
Carter Fitzgerald, a lefty junior, started the year as a lefty attack and then moved to the midfield unit on the Los Angeles trip. He has a goal tonight. Yeah,
and he's done a really good job. Carter Fitzgerald is someone who can pass catch. anywhere out on the field. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's looking for the right players and trying to make the right decision, and he's a good passer off that sweep dodge. So he's really transitioned really well.
Maddox Ranley on the dodge. Stripped by the Pinnacle defense. Ranley in the crease, and Pinnacle, they did not call a crease violation. They called a push. And so Brophy will retain possession with 6 minutes to play here in the game.
I thought that was great defense by Pinnacle to strip that ball, so I'm not sure where the penalty was, but obviously I missed it.
I'm with you. Great doorstop save by Jack Cruikshank there on Cherukuri. So that's what they call the God rule, I guess. A nice save by Pinnacle on that play, but the turnover for Brophy, and the Broncos will regain possession. Braden Duck here, a freshman out of the Mesa area. Talented player, plays for West Coast Stars, number 22, which is modeled after Mikey Sowers. And for those lacrosse fans out there who know who Mikey Sowers is, a talented, young, shifty attackman who played at Princeton and then Duke. And that is who wears the number 22 that Braden Duck is modeled after.
Unfortunately, an unforced turnover right there, but what set that up, that gave them that possession back, was the hustle. I believe it was Alex White on the ride. So Brophy's attackmen have really played well tonight on that ride, and that's something out there as an attackman. Usually attackmen are there to score. That's their primary job, right, to assist and to score. But if they don't score, what you're looking for in a prolific attackman is that, can they ride? Do they have the passion to get in there and play a little defense and try to create that turnover? And if they do, they create actually more shots for them. So it's to their benefit for them to play extremely good defense and to ride on the way back. So Pinnacle looking to move the ball around the perimeter a little bit. Again, earlier they were doing some two-man games, so we'll see trying to do that right now. Running into a double team, want to see the ball being moved. Brophy's defense is playing strong, so these younger guys that are out there are playing hard, they're playing strong, and they're playing disciplined, so you like to see that.
Good defense there by the Broncos. Scooped up by Carter Fitzgerald. Some strong defensive play by Ryan Minara, Jordan Hidalgo, Rex Richardson from the long stick deep holes for the Broncos. Here in transition, Bryce Delgado, beautiful pass to Alex White for the goal. Looked like the old Boston Celtics transition offense there. Duck, Delgado, White, goal for the Broncos.
Yeah, that was fun to see. 3 freshmen on the field right there playing attack. Very unselfish play by Bryce Delgado, number 34. Great pass by Ducky to get it down there. And Bryce could have shot the ball, but he did the right thing, and Alex White was wide open in front of the crease, and so he dished it down low to his buddy, and number 1 Alex White buries it. So very unselfish play by all 3 of them. Very unselfish play by Bryce Delgado to give that up. He could have took the shot, and he didn't. I like to see that.
So face-off win by Pinnacle, and the Pioneers there. A little bit of a unsettled advantage situation here.
Brophy playing really scrappy again. They're pressing out. This is playoff lacrosse. They're going to continue to press out. They're going to continue to make Pinnacle earn their goal. If they're going to score, they're earning it. They're not giving them anything out here. And so hats off to the Brophy defense coming out here and playing strong so well all night long.
So 2.5 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Brophy with a comfortable 19-4 lead over Pinnacle. As we look ahead to the championship game, Brophy started the season playing Desert Vista. If the Broncos end up playing Desert Vista, the game was at Desert Vista, and Brophy ran out to an 11-3 lead in that game, a comfortable fourth quarter lead at that point in time. The Desert Vista Thunder did not, are they light? Thunder, right?
Yeah,
the high school
Thunder.
team's the Thunder.
Yep.
The youth team's the Lightning.
Lightning.
Sorry.
Yep.
Thunder and Lightning. Fought back, cut the lead. It was a final score of 12-8, but Brophy was really in control the whole game of that opening game of the year. The Broncos have certainly improved since that point in time. I'm sure Desert Vista has as well. Desert Vista is missing their face-off player and college commit and strong offensive and defensive player. He plays all 3 aspects of the field, Levi Shoemaker, so that has hurt Desert Vista. But again, they are up 4-3 at the half over Chandler. So that was that game, and Brophy just played Chandler in the regular season finale of A.L.L. action here at the Brophy Sports Complex in a matchup of teams who were undefeated. And in that game, it was a tight game for a while. Brophy ran out to a 3-1 lead, and a 6-3 advantage. But then the Broncos scored 7 straight goals to take a 6-4 lead into a 13-4 lead and really held Chandler off the scoreboard for the entire second half in wresting control of that game in a convincing 13-5 win. So Brophy, depending on who they play, will have played both teams and beat them in convincing fashion in the regular season. But as we've learned, that does not mean anything. Back before this streak started, Brophy had a convincing win over Boulder Creek in the regular season, and come championship time, Boulder Creek rested I believe was a 14-13, maybe 13-12 overtime victory, and Boulder Creek won the state championship that year over the Broncos. The next year, Brophy came back with a vengeance and a focus. Beat Desert Vista at Desert Vista, I believe, in the championship game, and that has started this incredible run for the Broncos, which looks to put Brophy in the state championship game for the 4th straight time, looking for the 7th time in the last 8 seasons, looking for its 4th straight state title.
Great job by Pinnacle to move the ball around, be patient with the ball. They had the ball for a long time right there, but they were patient. They got a good shot off, an excellent save by, again, the 3rd goalie for this Brophy team in CJ. So just a great play, and actually goalie takes it right back up, makes a nice play, and so Brophy's back in on offense. And the game is over. So I think, Scott, if you're Coach Pat and his staff, they're going to be very, very, very pleased with how Brophy came out. They put the pedal to the metal, if you will, and they play with an intensity all game long, and they weren't going to have anything to do but get to that state championship, which is the goal at Brophy every year, is to win the state championship. Pinnacle came out, played a good game, played hard. You were talking earlier about Coach Max. Coach Max is an excellent coach. He's even a better human being and a better man. He cares about his players. He cares about the program. And to see what he's done at this program has just been phenomenal. It's going to be sad to see him go. But kudos to what he has done. And big-time props to this Pinnacle Lacrosse Club who beat the odds to be in this semifinals game and just fought all the way to the end. So a lot of respect for this Pinnacle team, these Pinnacle families. They're great, great, great people, and it's a fun time every time these two teams can get on the field to play. So what a great semifinal game for the Brophy Lacrosse Club, and I know they are excited to get back to that state championship game. Whether it's Chandler or Desert Vista, it's going to be a battle because it's not easy to beat the same team twice, especially in the same season. So guaranteed either one of those teams are going to come out fighting hard, of course. Brophy is going to probably take that same mindset going in that they had tonight, is to go out, play hard, play fast, take it to them first and get that big, huge lead, take the wind out of their sails, and finish this year where they wanted to, and that is state champions.
So the final from Brophy Sports Complex is Brophy Broncos 19, Pinnacle Pioneers 4. We thank you for joining us here tonight and all season long for Arizona High School Boys Lacrosse action. Once again, we hope you join us on Friday night, whether it's in person at Desert Vista High School starting at 7:30 or on APN video for the live stream. But exciting lacrosse action on the way. Brophy Broncos with a 10-0 regular season, 2-0 in the playoffs. Convincing win here tonight against Pinnacle. Pinnacle Pioneers played strong throughout the year, a little bit of a slow start, but they really turned it on here at the end. Beat Notre Dame Prep in the quarterfinals and put up an effort here tonight. Just overmatched by Brophy in the face-off game by Jack Rossoni, the offensive game in a flawless turnover-free first half. Led the Broncos to a 19-4 win. Signing off here from Brophy Sports Complex, thank you for joining us.